table read! Woo! This one's like super exciting, and it's like close to a lot of people's hearts because Kendall Fowler wrote this piece and directed it. Woo! Yes, give it up for Kendall Fowler. And so it's like really close to our hearts, especially because it was supposed to happen last year, as we know, and then Corona also decided to tag along and mess everything up. But here we are about doing the show now. So I won't talk for much longer, and we'll just watch these beautiful people do what they love to do. The things I will say are reminder for 6 feet rule, because like I said, Corona is here. And 6 feet, your exits are everywhere. We will have a photographer running around. There won't be flash, so you don't have to worry about that, but just know that that's happening. And have a good time. Sweet, and now I'll leave it to the director.
Hi, I'm Kendall. I'm the director, playwright, and Olga. So I'm all three things. So I guess I should get into briefly just how I came up with this idea. So I'm sure all of you know the story of Anastasia and the whole mystery. Did she survive? Did she not? If y'all have a program, there's only a couple, so if you pass them around, you'll see in my director's note, it kind of goes into more detail. But basically, I had this book about real-life princesses when I was little, because like every little girl, I love princesses. And my favorite story was the one about the Romanov girls. And just, you know, the hope that maybe one of them managed to survive. And that same year, so 2007 is when I got it, that same year is when the Russian and American scientists finally ended up discovering the remains of the missing 2 children. And it was confirmed that none of them had survived. Of course, I was crushed because I was hoping, you know, maybe one of them was really out there somewhere. But so fast forward 10 or so years later, I was trying to think of something to do for my capstone project, and then I just got this idea of like, you know, someone should really write a play about these girls. And I'm like, I could write a play about these girls. So I did, and I fell in love with directing, so I was like, and I also want to direct it. And so that's how this came to be, because you only ever hear about the awful, tragic way that they died, or Anastasia and the whole mystery. And I'm like, there were 3 other sisters who were so unique and so interesting in their own right. And I'm like, I want to really showcase them as well, and not just when they're going through tragedy, because I always thought we as people are worth more than the bad things that happen to us. So that was very important to me, and I hope that I hope that y'all see their personalities come through in this show, because it does accurately reflect the real girls' personalities. So something else that I wanted just to get out there was that I originally was not supposed to be Olga. Our dear Amanda Jackson, who graduated this past year with me, she went to grad school, so unfortunately she could not come back to play Olga, so I had to take her place. So just, we're all fondly remembering Amanda and making sure that she has the recognition that she deserves, that she was the original Olga. And then finally, if you at the very end, the very last post that we hit, if you have a program, just make sure you look at the front of the program. You'll kind of understand. And then again with the program, if you look at the back picture are the real girls on the actual day that this takes place. So I think that's kind of fun. You can just kind of compare what they look like and everything. So thank you all so much for coming. This means so much to me. This has been such a passion project. So thank you all, and I'll put y'all in the mood now. We are in Levadia, which is in current Ukraine, 1914. Thank you.
May 1914. Lights up on the exterior of Levadia Palace, Crimea. Waves crash in the background. Anastasia enters to put together a flower arrangement. She struggles. Olga enters and watches her for a bit, then speaks abruptly.
That's not how it's done.
Bonjour, you frighten me.
Mama says they must be done in groups of 3 is not to offend anyone.
I'm doing them in groups of 6 to save time. It's 2 bundles for one and fewer hours wasted for me.
Here, let me do it.
I know what I'm doing.
You'll drive the whole city mad doing it that way. There may be 2 groups of 3 in that bundle you're making, but it will lead to an even number of flowers.
So, who even believes in that superstition anyway?
Spitzik, you better not let anyone hear you say that. They might think you to be irreverent.
To me, numbers are just that, numbers. How is an odd number good while an even number is evil? What merit does that hold? Where does it come from?
It makes little difference where it came from. Other than that, it will bring you poor luck to give an even number of flowers, and that is what we follow. It is the way it's always been, and I trust you will continue to uphold that and not allow Mama or anyone else to hear you speak against such rules if you know what's good for you.
Well, you're no fun.
Anastasia goes and sits.
You know, I had 5 men fighting over who got to kiss my hand today.
I'm not surprised.
Anastasia smiles at this, but Olga cuts her off to bring her back down.
But did you see how many people were gathered around Alexei earlier? Oh, the poor dear. I nearly lost him amidst the crowd this morning, only to find him ever so patiently allowing a group of at least 12 people to kiss his feet.
Well, he better get used to it. He will be the czar one day. Did anyone even buy flowers from him?
I saw a few people carrying a stem or 2, but Nastya, I imagine most people simply don't have the money to buy many. It's their future czar they wish to see, not the flowers.
If I were him, I would relish in having so many adoring people giving me attention. If only I'd been born male.
Yes, but our dear Alexei takes all the attention given to him with a cheerful heart and in good spirit. When he was younger, he used to revel in all the attention. Now that he's older, I think he can see that it's less about him as it is the power in which he holds.
We were playing out by the sea the other day when he managed to take a rather splendid fall. Of course, we were all quite frightened, and Vadim rushed to stand him upright. But he emerged with a face full of sand, laughing. It's almost as if he's unaware that he is ill. I don't like to think of him as ill. I think it makes our playtime so much more fun if we pretend his illness simply does not exist. It's rather unfair that his body is so sick when his spirit is so joyful.
That is why it is so important that we deliver these flowers to the people of Levadia.
Why? How does that affect Alexei?
Perhaps it does not affect him directly, but it does people like him.
There are other people in Levadia with bleeding diseases?
No, but there are people who are ill in other ways. The money that's made from these daisies go to those who are ill, like our dear Alexei. It is our duty to help those who are desperately ill because we know how it is to care for someone who's sick. This day brings us closer to our people, Nastya. We can relate to them.
But we're rich, Olga. Why don't we simply give them the money?
Anastasia, you mustn't say such things. Besides, even if we were not, the people need to rely on their sovereign rulers. We are, and always have been, their continuous support and leaders.
I see.
Anastasia brightens.
I am confident that the people love to see their heir well and being a servant to their country.
I hope you're right, and that it will always be so.
Yes.
So you understand now why it is so important for each flower and bundle to be perfectly put together and presented, no matter how inconsequential the way they are put together may seem. It's a reflection of us and of our dignity. And God knows the way in which the world is today. Our family needs it.
Yes. Perhaps you would like to go for a swim after we sell the remaining flowers?
I don't know, Anna. I have much to do here.
Oh, but the weather is so pleasant today. Oh, please, Olga, it shall only take but a moment.
The last time we went, you practically tore your trunks up to your neck trying to swim under the pier.
Mama was so embarrassed. So naturally, I had to make her chase me around on land for a while our whole boating party laughed at the scene. I don't know if she'll ever forgive me for putting her through that, but it was so entertaining for me.
You see? You'll pull another little stunt like that again and embarrass me to death. Make me climb up a tree or wade through a muddy ditch to retrieve you.
Oh no, I'll be good, Olga. I swear upon it. I won't do that this time.
Oh, this time.
Please, Olga.
don't know.
I'll race you to the dock, as always.
Oh, all right. But later, this evening, once the flowers are sold and the vendors are put away.
Yes!
Oh, Anna?
Begins to run off excitedly.
And I'll win, as always.
Not a chance.
Anastasia exits. Enter Maria and Tatiana. Scene 2.
Oh, Olga, dear, I never believed who we just now saw at one of the vendors.
Who?
Oh, no, Maria. We should make her guess.
Oh, yes.
Couldn't possibly.
Yes.
Well, was it that one?
Devastatingly handsome guard of the Prince of Wales we met last winter? Yes.
Maria, she was supposed to have guessed.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tatiana, but I couldn't contain my excitement. Oh, he's so very charming. That English military uniform is quite becoming on him with those blue eyes.
Maria, you are a hopeless romantic, and I shall never again trust you with a secret.
I don't believe you. That can't be. In the streets, are you certain?
Oh, it was most certainly him, which of course means that he is also here.
In Lavinia, of all places. This cannot be true. Why on earth would the Prince of Wales be wandering the streets of Lavinia?
Why, to find you, of course.
To find... No, this really can't be. He would have sent word to Father ages ago if he were to be calling on us.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. Perhaps he had business in Crimea, and you just happened to be conveniently in his path along the way.
Be sensible, Maria. You know as well as I that that's not why he's here. What should I do?
You do nothing, Olga. You do absolutely nothing. You shall wait here, and you will allow for him to call upon you. Now, we cannot have you throwing yourself at any man that takes an interest in you. Unlike some people.
What's wrong with throwing yourself at a man? I throw myself at men all the time.
We know.
If our Olga is ever going to be married, she's going to have to be open and flirtatious and will throw herself at a man at some point.
Well, Maria, when Olga is ready to settle down, she will let us know. But until then, we shan't say any more on the subject.
But Olga, it is clear that the prince is here. And why else would he be in Lavinia if not to call upon you?
Yes.
Well, what are you going to say? What shall you say to him when he asks to see you?
I don't know. Tell Father that if the Prince of Wales calls upon me today, I don't wish to see him. Send him away.
But Olga...
No, I'm certain of this.
But he came all this
I've
way.
made up my mind, Maria. I don't wish to see him.
Olga has made up her mind, Maria. In the interest of our sister, it is best that we do not discuss this matter any longer.
But Tatiana, she...
Let's go find Alexei and see if he's finished putting together the corsages.
Maria and Tatiana exit. Olga watches to make sure they are out of earshot. Then she pulls out a letter from her pocket. She begins to read.
My dearest Olga, I kiss you most tenderly and pray that you are well and in good spirits. Mother has forbidden me to write much due to my studies, but I have taken the time to do so anyway. I have taken it upon myself to learn some Russian in hopes that I may communicate to you through your native tongue. So forgive my incompetence and please disregard my errors. I hope that you will find this greeting as not an offense, but as a hearty attempt to win your ever-loving affections. I am desperately wanting to make a trip with a small party to Crimea in a few weeks' time. It is my hope that we may stop in Lavinia and that I may call upon you. I do not know if this can happen, but I pray every night that it does. I long to see and speak with you again, as it has been so very long since our last meeting. I must go now, dear Olga, and finish my studies. I kiss you and pray for you and your family's great health nightly. Love forever, Edward.
Lights fade. Olga exits. Scene 3. Lights up. Olga is entering from the garden. She speaks offstage to an unseen Edward.
And I speak of this to no one until I've made my decision.
She enters and pulls a ring out of her pocket.
He asked me to marry him. He asked me to marry him.
She makes her way to center stage.
Oh my God, he asked me to marry him. Now, Olga, think sensibly. Don't start filling your head with foolish imaginings. But I suppose I would be mean. I mean, really and truly the Queen of England. I suppose that brings with it as many benefits, but also its detriments. There's so much to consider, so So very much to consider. I could be the ruler in the face of one of the greatest nations of our time. But I suppose I'm that now as well. But to be queen, Olga, oh, just to imagine. Your Majesty, the Kaiser's head on the golden platter you ordered. Why, yes, thank you, Pemberton. I shall hang it on my wall for all to see. Oh, no, how morbid of me. No, this can't happen. I can't allow it. I would never make a good queen. I would simply, I don't know. Look how it shines and sparkles in the light. Never possessed a finer piece of jewelry. It is a true reflection of their empire. My mother's ancestors, my ancestors. I would enjoy it there. It would be milder in the winters than it is here. St. Petersburg, Tsarskoye Selo, Levadia, Mama and Papa and Alexei, and Tatiana, Maria, and Anastasia. Lost, so very lost.
She once again takes off the ring and puts it in her pocket. Lights fade out. Scene 4. Olga sits on the porch, reading and rereading Edward's letter. She is clearly concerned. Tatiana enters. Olga quickly folds away the letter.
Olga, do you know the whereabouts of my flower pole? I placed it by the door and...
She sees that Olga is emotionally distraught.
Is something the matter?
No.
You look unwell.
No. Nothing's the matter. Please, come sit.
Tatiana hesitantly goes to sit by Olga. There is a long silence.
I overheard Mama was talking with Anna this afternoon. It seems that our friend has not been seen for well more than a month. Mama seemed quite sullen about the matter. I suppose that she fears that Alexei may become sick again and our friend won't be present to heal him.
She waits for Olga to respond, but Olga says nothing, so she continues.
And I can only ponder where he may have gone off to. I mean, the Urals, home to Pokrovskoy. Oh, perhaps he has gone to the jungles of the Amazon and built a little commune amongst the tribes.
Olga weakly smiles and laughs at this.
I do wonder where he will turn up next. But I am hopeful, however, for Mama's sake that he is not far. Lord only knows how much she needs him, and for Alexei's sake.
Yes, the mad monk Rasputin performs yet another one of his famous disappearing acts.
You are brave for that. You better not allow for Mama to hear you speak of him in such a way.
They laugh, then Olga catches herself, remembers her plight, and goes back to her original melancholy state.
What is wrong with you, Olga? You look positively crestfallen.
She struggles to hold back tears and whether or not to tell Tatiana of the letter.
Whatever it is, you must tell me.
I fear your response.
Well, you needn't fear for what I have to say. Maybe perhaps fear the notion that I might have a slight inclination to tell Mama or Papa. Oh, I'm only kidding. I would never say anything to anyone.
Tatiana, have you thought of marriage at all?
Why do you ask?
Have you?
Well, I suppose that the notion has crossed my mind, though I've never given it much of a second thought.
And why haven't you?
I suppose at this point in my life, I'm simply uninterested in the matter.
So you've never given a man, or any number of suitors Mama and Papa have discussed for us, any consideration?
Well, I suppose I have yet to happen upon a man that is worthy of my consideration. As Mama has said, the way that a man treats a woman is the purest identification of his nobility, and no man that I have met has ever fully fulfilled these requirements to garnish my affection.
Olga is clearly dissatisfied with Tatiana's answer and inability to relate with her.
Again, Olga, I must ask why you asked this.
Tatiana, what do you believe love is built on?
Built on?
Yes.
Well, to be frank, I've never thought of this. Mutual support, like Mama and Papa's love for one another.
Lately I've been thinking about it all. I think that love must be a sincere and good feeling, but without mutual respect, true love is unthinkable.
Olga.
And I felt that sincere and good feeling recently, Tatiana.
Olga, what are you getting at?
A long pause. Finally, Olga bursts.
I received a letter yesterday evening.
What kind of letter?
A personal one. A very personal one. One from Edward.
What did it say?
He spoke of his affections for me of the last time we met.
And you were upset over a mere love letter.
Well, I suppose it wasn't the letter in which I took issue, but what occurred after. You see, this afternoon, Edward came, unannounced, to the palace to call upon me.
Good heavens, I knew that he was in Levadia with the intent to see you, but I never thought that he would have been so bold as to come to our home directly.
Neither did I, never in my wildest.
She's overcome with emotion and has to take a breath.
I didn't want Mama or Papa to see him calling unannounced, so I had him send her out to the garden where we spoke.
I thought that you didn't wish to see
I don't, or I didn't.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
I'm afraid I don't either.
Olga, sit down.
Olga goes to sit with Tatiana.
Come sit. You are conflicted. I can see that. Tell me what happened.
I didn't plan on going to see him. I was fully and wholly convinced I never wanted to lay eyes on him again. And yet, there we were, whispering and giggling in the garden like school children.
What did you speak of?
Many things. The day we met, our lives since, family, friends, and our futures.
By the progression of your story, I can only assume that there is more to this.
Yes. We spoke of our futures, of our near futures, and our very far off futures, and then
What happened to Olga?
Long beat. Olga paces in worry about telling her sister what has occurred. She then goes and sits by Tatiana, pulls out the ring, and puts it on her finger.
he asked me to marry him.
Tatiana looks at the ring in horror and shock. She stops and tries to compose herself.
Wow. Well, I must say I'm shocked and alarmed. At this news, yes, this is quite shocking.
And you must imagine how I feel.
Well, I cannot say that I saw this coming, and to a cousin no less.
I didn't say I'd marry him.
You didn't?
No. No. I couldn't.
Why is that?
I don't know. I suppose it was because that I knew that while my duty lies here, my heart,
Go on.
heart so desperately wanted to be with him.
So you're saying that you love him?
Olga smiles to herself.
Yes. No. Dear, I'm so unsure. My thoughts and emotions are hanging over me like a thick fog.
You don't have to deny your emotions, Olga. As shocked as I may be over this news, I will support what you're feeling.
And I suppose it's true. I do. I do love him.
Well, if you love him, Olga, as you say you do, then why do you seem so unhappy?
There's just so much to think about. I feel as though my duty lies both with him and at home.
Yes, of course.
Tatiana, please don't breathe a word of this to Mama and Papa. With as much going on as there is now with the both of them, I don't want to bring anything else upon them.
I won't.
Thank you.
But, Olga, remember that if you need assistance in coming to a decision, we will listen. Well, Maria and I will. Who knows about Anastasia?
Yes, I know.
Tatiana gets up to exit.
Oh, Tatiana, that's another thing. I'd like very much for you not to mention this to Anastasia. I love the girl dearly, but I fear how she may react to this news if not properly prepared. She's still but a child, and a child with a rather large mouth. I can't entirely trust her not to say anything to Mama and Papa. In fact, I'd rather tell Mama and Papa even before her. This news needs to come from me directly.
Tatiana stops.
I understand. I will tell only Maria then.
Thank you, Tatiana, sincerely.
Tatiana smiles and nods, then exits. Scene 5. Enter Maria. Tatiana is already seated. Maria is holding flowers, rushing off somewhere.
Oh, Maria!
Yes.
Maria, I must tell you something.
Forgive
No,
me,
those can wait. Those can wait.
Tatiana. I was trying.
I have urgent news.
Going to attempt to fluff the tossed flowers.
Well, you could have at
Please
least...
just quit messing with everything and listen to me. This is important.
What is it?
Now, you must promise that you will not say a word of this to anyone. Olga is allowing for me to speak of the matter with you, but it stays with you. Do you understand?
What's going on?
Tatiana pulls Maria aside and draws her in so that no one can hear.
Edward came to see Olga this morning.
Here,
Yes, at the palace.
without calling upon her first?
With no word of warning.
You can't be serious. Not a single word of warning.
No one knew. It was as if his passion overcame him and he forwent any and all social graces.
You're saying that the heir to the British throne strolled up our walkway and knocked on the door as if you were delivering the morning paper?
I haven't the faintest idea how he managed to evade the watchful eye of his party.
Well, what on earth did he want?
He asked to speak to Olga directly.
And did he?
Oh, yes.
What could have been so urgent that he needed to speak with our Olga directly?
Enter Anastasia. She is coming up to speak with Tatiana and Maria when she notices that they are having a private conversation. She stops to listen.
Maria, Edward came to ask for Olga's hand in marriage.
You can't be serious.
Oh, but I am.
Just like that. He just casually walked into our home unannounced, proposed that Olga become the future Queen of England?
Yes, you could have knocked me over with a feather when Olga confided this to me. In fact, I still feel a little bit breathless. I'm mentioning this again.
What does this mean? I mean, for her, for her future? For us?
I don't know. I truly don't know.
I mean, we could lose her.
In a sense, yes.
She would have to live thousands of miles away from us. I don't suppose we would ever see her. I mean, perhaps on Christmas or on our birthdays or Easter.
This was a fate that we all knew that we would have to face one day, Maria.
Yeah, but now that it's here... A king! A British king! Our Olga!
Shush, Maria.
Poetic, dear, sweet Olga, are you marrying the king of England?
Yes, Maria. Maria, listen to me. Listen to me. You mustn't breathe a word of this news to anyone. She hasn't made her decision yet, so nothing is final. Maria, I'm serious. Not to Mama, not to Papa. Oh, and especially not to Anastasia.
Why?
Olga asked me specifically not to. See, Anastasia, she's a child. She cannot understand the nuances that go into decisions like this. She is not simply mature enough to cope with the news. Olga said that with her mouth, she would tell the entire village, and she just cannot be trusted.
I see what you mean.
Of course, we love Anna dearly, but until the time is right, we must protect her from this news.
Of course, I shan't hear the word of it.
Thank you. Now, hurry and get those flowers down to Mama before she suspects anything. Thank you.
Tatiana and Maria exit on different sides. Anastasia, who has been hiding, appears on stage. She is very hurt and angry.
A child. They think I'm a child. A girl of 13, and they think I'm a child. Cannot be trusted. Who are they to say that I cannot be trusted? And who are they to say what I can and cannot handle? Who is Olga to believe that she can run off to someone's ancestral island and leave us here alone? How dare she? Well, I'll show them what a child is and what a child isn't. I can handle much more than you believe, dearest Olga. Watch me.
Anastasia runs off stage in a fit of rage and defiance. Scene 6. The room is abuzz. Olga is trying to put the last of the flowers together in neat bundles. Tatiana and Maria are running back and forth, transporting flowers to and from various locations.
Maria, be a dear, take these bundles and put them by that stack over there.
My arms are quite
Thank
full.
you.
All right.
Olga, did Mama say that she wanted the flower poles to come down to her on the street or wait until later?
I believe she wanted them to come down now.
Tatiana gets her maypole from against the wall and distractedly hands it off to a struggling Maria.
Here.
Maria takes it, but is clearly struggling.
Okay, I'm going down to the street now.
Oh, wait, don't forget these. And after you're done transporting these, come back and get the remaining ones.
Olga dumps more flower bundles on top of Maria's stack.
Olga, I don't know if I
Thank
can.
you, Maria.
Maria struggles out of the door. Olga looks around the room for more help. She calls off stage.
Anna? Anastasia, come out here and assist me with these flowers, will you?
There is no response.
Anastasia, are you here somewhere?
There is still no response. Olga moves to call inside the palace.
Anastasia, Anastasia, come out here and help us. I know you can hear me. Come outside this instant.
There is still no response. Olga seems befuddled.
Have you seen Anna recently? This process would be ever so much faster if she were here to help.
I haven't seen her for well more than an hour.
Where on earth is that lazy girl even got off to?
She's probably out in the garden climbing a tree or torturing some poor servant girl by tripping her in the hallway.
Perhaps, but she needs to be here to help us. It's not just our fundraiser.
Don't fret, Olga. I am certain she will turn up soon. Probably caked in mud or blood or both.
Maria re-enters, skipping joyfully.
I'm back! How on earth did you manage to get those delivered in that amount of time?
Oh, I didn't. One of the guards, you know, the particularly tall one with the thick black mustache and the green eyes with that speckling of amber. He saw me struggling, and in my plight he took the whole load from me and offered to take down to the bazaar.
I assume you obliged him?
Well, of course. But when he bent down to relieve me of those loads, he smiled the most handsome smile. His teeth were perfectly white, and I held his gaze.
Thank you, Maria. Now do tell me, have you seen Anastasia recently?
No, the last time I saw her was this morning when she was challenging you to a race.
Oh dear.
Well, what's the matter?
We can't seem to locate Anastasia. She's been missing for at least 3 hours now.
Well, I'm sure she's just somewhere in the house or out in the street playing with some of the children.
I would have assumed she would have told us if she were going to do so.
Well, if it's worrying you, then we shall all go and search for her.
Yes, the remaining flowers need tending to, but we'll hold off on those until we can find Anna. Then she can take them down to the street.
That is an excellent idea. I will go and search the beach and see if she might be playing in the water.
Then I can go down to the bazaar and search for her in the streets.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you. I'll search around here, and if anyone hears any word from her or manages to locate her whereabouts, either come find me or send a guard to tell me.
Tatiana and Maria go off to search for Anastasia.
Anna! Anastasia, where did you go? The festival isn't over, you know. I know you might be hiding to escape responsibility, but you can't hide forever.
From the beach.
Anastasia! Look, Spivzik, you cannot escape today's duties by coming down to the beach. Come out, Olga's worried about you.
From the streets.
Anna! Anna, are you out here? Olga is wondering where you are, and I believe you're beginning to worry her.
From the palace.
Anastasia, if you're here somewhere, I need to know. It's been too long that you've been gone without telling us.
From the beach.
Anna, where are you? Come out wherever you are.
From the streets.
Anastasia, Mama and Papa and Olga will be very angry if you don't show yourself. Where are you?
Anna?
Anna!
Anna!
Anastasia!
They stop. A single light shines on Anastasia's hat, floating in the water.
Oh no. No.
She rushes to pick it up.
Anastasia's hat. Olga!
The girls run back to meet up in center stage, the porch of the palace. Tatiana lags behind slightly.
I couldn't find her anywhere, and she wasn't with Mama or Papa or Alexei or the guards or anyone in the street.
She was nowhere to be found within the palace walls either.
Tatiana comes rushing up.
Olga, Maria!
What is it, Tatiana?
I found her hat.
Where was it?
It was floating in the water on the beach.
What are you saying?
Well, that can only mean
That she...
That she's been in the water? Anna knows how angry Mama would be if she just lost track of one of her fine Sunday hats. I can't imagine that she would just lose it.
Of course she
without...
would. She's Anastasia. She could lose her own left foot.
Olga, we must tell Mama or Papa.
No. No. We tell no one. Not yet. With today's festivities, I know Mama has already been pushed to the edge. This would send her over. I'm certain Anastasia's fine.
Then we tell Papa.
Not her Papa either. He would put the blame on us for losing her.
Then what do we do?
We go out and search the beach ourselves. If we don't find her in half an hour's time, then we tell someone.
But Olga?
We tell no one because there is no need to. She's fine. I'm sure of it.
Shall we keep searching then?
Yes.
Perhaps Maria and I continue searching along the beach.
Yes. I'll stay around the palace grounds in case the little imp decides to make a reappearance.
All right. We'll return within the hour.
And I'm sure she's all right.
Tatiana and Maria exit.
I hope.
Scene 7. It is now evening. Olga, Tatiana, and Maria are on the porch. Olga is pacing.
What time is it, Tatiana?
It's nearly 5:30.
Oh dear.
Now, Olga, we haven't any need to panic yet.
But it's been nearly 4 hours now that she's been gone, and we've been searching for at least an hour and a half.
Olga, we need to tell Mama and
No,
Papa.
she's fine. Just run off in hiding.
Olga, perhaps Tatiana is right. I mean, she's been gone for quite some time now.
No, she's just being Anastasia. She knows this will anger us, so she's doing it purposely to see what we'll do.
Olga, I know that you're afraid, but I am sure that if we tell them...
I'm not afraid. I'm fine. I don't need you to tell me how I'm feeling.
Neither of us are.
But you are. I can handle this situation, Maria. I'm not a child who needs to be coddled and soothed.
Of course, we understand that, but recently your actions and your emotions have been unpredictable.
Oh, and I ponder why that is.
Olga, please be reasonable.
How can I be reasonable, Maria? When the heir to the entire English empire is pining for your affection and attention, the exact same hour you discover your sister's missing.
Yes, which is why we really must tell Mama and Papa. Anastasia could be very hurt. Olga, it is all right to admit that you're
Stop
afraid.
saying that! She was under my supervision last, so she's fine. I don't need your opinion on the subject, and if you do again, I shall scream.
Tatiana was just trying to help Olga.
Well, she bloody well isn't, is she?
Olga!
This is the first time we hear Maria snap at someone. Olga is taken aback. There is a silence when suddenly Anastasia comes bounding in.
My hat!
All three girls jump and turn to Anastasia.
Anastasia!
I lost it on the way out to sea.
They embrace her.
Where in heaven's name were you?
Oh, I do not like this at all.
We
She
were
struggles-
so worried.
I thought you'd been swept away by the sea.
You were carried off by one of our enemies.
What are you talking about? You're squeezing me too hard. Let me go.
She breaks free and tries to run.
Anastasia, stop.
She stops.
Come here.
She thinks about it, then very reluctantly goes back.
Why did you leave and not tell any of us where you were?
Why would you have cared?
Can you even imagine how selfish you were being? Today was supposed to be a perfect and lovely day focused on the betterment of others, and you dampened it ever so much with your little stunt.
I had just taken one of the rowboats out to one of the buoys just offshore. Papa took me out one time long ago, and I remember it had the tiniest little sand crabs crawling all over it. I wanted to see them again.
Are you mad? Or just so irreparably selfish that you would go out alone, late in the day when you knew that you had to finish selling flowers, not a single guard with you, not a soul knowing what your plans were?
I was perfectly capable of managing my own actions and safety.
Your own
so
safety. You. If anyone were to flip the boat and drown, it would be you. I cannot even begin to grapple with your unfathomable naivety.
Olga, perhaps you should extend some
No!
grace.
I don't want to hear a single word of your opinion in this matter.
Maria was just trying to
I
help.
wish to be alone with Anastasia. If Mama and Papa are too busy to attend her, I will. Get out. Both of you.
Olga, please listen.
Now.
Maria and Tatiana exit. There is a moment of silence between the two sisters. Suddenly, Anastasia speaks.
I was just trying.
No. No. You were not just trying to do anything. Do you know what could have happened? Do you know that there are people, enemies of the throne, who sit crouched, waiting in the dark corners of our world, ready to douse out any one of our flames the moment it should show vulnerability?
Olga, you are being ridiculous.
Am I? There have been talks of unrest in this nation for decades, centuries even. The people have turned. They no longer wish to be governed by a single figurehead alone. In fact, they resent it. This feeling has poured over into other nations as well. Germany, whatever that's become, our own mother's homeland, seeks daily to spill the blood of our nation and control is quickly slipping through not only father's but every other country's fingers. To show just a tiny bit of weakness would mean death to our lives as we know it.
A boat ride to a buoy 20 yards, no, not even 20, 15 yards from our own palace has nothing to do with civil unrest, Olga. I was completely safe.
And that proves how naive and unaware you truly are. Are you not so aware as to why we must bring an army of guards with us wherever we go? We're not always safe, Anna. If someone, anyone near Levadia who even held the slightest bit of hostility against our family had seen you out in open water alone, they could have kidnapped you and murdered you on the spot.
You're lying. You always said Levadia was safe. What was it you said again? In St. Petersburg we work, but in Levadia we live? How could you possibly know this?
I hear, Father. I hear his conversations with Mama, the guards. The world is not always a kind and beautiful place. There are people, enemies everywhere, even in our heaven of a home that you are too young and senseless to know anything about.
I am not a child!
You are! You are a child, Anastasia. You know nothing of the true dangers of this world. You go through life as if everything is beautiful and exciting and new, and it isn't. I could have lost you. Mama is in so much pain as it is on account of Alexei, and your actions today made it ever so much more painful for her. You are a selfish and stupid girl, Anastasia.
A brief moment of silence. Anastasia starts to walk away, then Anastasia bursts.
Do you want to know why I ran away? Because of you. Because of what you did.
What are you talking about?
I heard Maria and Tatiana talking. You're planning on marrying our cousin, that English prince, aren't you?
Anastasia.
And I suppose that you'll move far off to some old British castle in the marsh and you'll leave us all behind, won't you? Like we're nothing.
Anastasia.
You said I couldn't be trusted. That I was nothing but a child.
Anastasia, listen.
No, you listen. For once, you stop barking orders at me and you listen. You talk of love and family and honesty with each other, and yet you not only go off gallivanting around and talking of engagements with some boy, but you don't even consider to speak of the matter with me. I'm not the child that you think I am, Olga. You should have told me. To find out through eavesdropping.
And I didn't mean to.
How could you, Olga? How could you leave our family? We need you. Think of Alexei. Think of Mama. How will she find it? How will she react when she discovers that you'll be living thousands of miles away from our home? We need you, Olga. I need you.
Anastasia, I never meant to hurt you. I was going to tell you. It's all just been so...
You betrayed my trust. You betrayed all of our trust. The only person you were concerned with was yourself.
It wasn't about what I wanted.
It's always about what you want, Olga.
This is not my fault.
Nothing ever is it?
Anastasia begins to walk away again.
I'm not finished talking to you.
Well, I'm finished listening.
How dare you speak to me that way? You are an insolent, disrespectful child, and if you walk out that door, I'll never speak to you again.
Anastasia stops, then turns.
You think you're our Tsarina, but you're not. You think that you're the empress of all the Russias just because you're the oldest and you can say and do whatever you want to us. Yes! No! Stop! I'm sick of it all! You are a lying and deceitful bully, and I can't stand to look at you. You try to act like you have everything and everyone in order, and anything that falls out of that order is a threat, but it's not. You're scared. That's why you hide things. You're a frightened, cowardly girl. You're not a Tsarina. If you were, you would be a horrible queen. But an even worse sister.
She runs and exits. Olga calls after her.
Anastasia! Anastasia, come back here!
Lights out. Scene 8. Lights up. Maria enters.
Olga, I must speak with you. It's urgent.
Did you come to tell me how horrid you think I am?
What? No, why would you think that?
Never mind.
Olga, Alexei has taken a fall again.
What? When?
He had gone to Mama's vendor to help her finish selling the remainder of the flowers and was going down a flight of stairs with this maypole when he missed a step and he just couldn't gain his balance and just cascaded.
Oh my God. Please tell me he's not bleeding.
Dr. Bodkin believes he may be. And they have just sent him to his bed to be bandaged. But he's in terrible pain and poor Mama is beside herself.
I must go to her immediately.
No, Tatiana's with her now. There's no need.
A long beat. Olga sighs and sits down, her head in her hands. She's almost in tears, completely defeated.
I can't do this any longer, Maria. I cannot. I'll go mad if I do. I've lied to and hurt Anastasia, and now Alexei has fallen, and I've reached my end. absolute end. I have given so much of my heart to the care and keeping of this family and our people and the wish of the Father, and I feel as though I've received so little in return. Olga, tend to your sisters. Olga, stay with your brothers. Olga must marry. Olga must marry me. Mustn't show you're weak. Olga must stand strong and firm and not give evil the attention it so desperately wants from us. I know there's evil brewing, Maria. Papa tries to hide it from me, but I know there's a darkness coming. The people are restless for change, and other nations as well wish to see ours collapse. How are we to face what's on the horizon? Surely God hasn't abandoned us, Maria.
Olga, God doesn't abandon us. The sun shines, the birds sing, and this morning we heard the bell sounding Matan. Surely we must remember that.
Yes. I'm already so tired, Maria. I am 18, but I feel as though I'm 3 times that age, and at times I feel so like Mama, just tired and alone.
Olga, no one can expect you to take on the task of life alone. You cannot carry the entire weight of an empire on your shoulders. You may be the daughter of Mother Russia, but you are only human.
What am I supposed to do, Maria?
You let me help you. You let all of us help you. Tatiana, Anastasia, all of us. You forget that while you are as our Evna, we are as well. We are sisters, you and I. That is a relationship that no one can marry into and a bond that no one can break.
I cannot accept his proposal.
I know.
How did you figure I would stay?
You are many things, Olga Nikolaevna, but you are not untrue. I knew from the moment I saw you embrace Anastasia upon her return that you couldn't leave. Your love for us far outweighs any love you could have ever held for her.
Well, I couldn't abandon you.
You could have, easily, but you didn't.
Our family needs me. How could I go?
You would have survived, Olga, and you knew that. But yet, here you are. And I think that speaks much about your spirit.
How? I almost abandoned my family.
You could have become the Queen of England, one of the most powerful realms of our time, left the cold, angry, darkened Petersburg, and had all of Britain at your feet. And yet you still chose to stay with us, your family. You are loyal and good, and you know well that duty lies before glory. You lead with the soul of steel and a heart of pure gold. That is the person you are, Olga. A true daughter of Russia. A true saint of an empire.
Tatiana, who has been listening, enters.
She's right, you know.
How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to know that your heart had been torn and that ultimately you chose blood over your title.
How was Alexei?
He's hurting. But Dr. Bodkin believes that the bleeding is minimal and it should subside within the week. He is asleep right now.
And how is Mama?
She's with Alexei. She's had quite a fright. But I've spoken directly with her, and since Alexei is improving, her anxieties have greatly diminished.
Thank God. Maria was just saying.
Oh yes, I heard. Who knew such words of poetry could be spoken from a girl who romances palace guards for a living? But everything that Maria said is true, and more. Please, sister, let us help you. No woman should ever have to walk through the dark alleys of life alone. Let us be your guardian angels, Olga.
I will. How could I not?
Promise me that when the darkness starts to creep in again, we'll take our hands and we'll remember this moment in the sun, and Lithuania, surrounded by the purest white reflecting the brightest light.
Anastasia enters.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize everyone would be in here. I thought only Olga was. Are you discussing something important?
No, that's all right, Anastasia. Come in, say what you wish to say.
Olga, I wanted to offer my apologies to you. I was cruel. Very cruel. I should not have said the things I said. I was angry, and the truth is, I was afraid of losing you. You've been our leader, Olga, a mother in many ways. My fear of you going away, along with wanted to be included as an equal with Tatiana and Maria, turned to anger, and I lashed out. And for that I am sorry. But I understand that they are older and wiser than I, and I should not have questioned you. I was hurt. I'm sorry. I hope you're not too angry with me.
You are forgiven, Nastia. I'm not angry with you.
Oh, and I also wanted to apologize to all of you for not thinking and being senseless about my boat ride. I should have told you where I was going. I'm sorry, today's festivities, along with Olga's news, clouded my judgment, and I was not thinking clearly. Olga, I need you to know that whatever I may have said in my anger, none of it is true. You are a wonderful sister and leader. You've been the mortar that's held this family together. Mama's so sick, and her mind is often so cloudy, and you have had to take on her responsibilities. And you've done so wonderfully and with such grace and dignity. One day you will make an even greater queen.
Olga pulls the ring from her pocket and holds it, then puts it down on the table.
I'm rejecting his proposal.
But why?
My duty in life lies with this family, in this country. Let him have an English wife, or German, they seem to like Germans, if he so chooses. But as for myself, I shall stay truly Russian.
I'll wager he marries an American.
Tatiana!
Do you not love him?
I do, but I love you more. If I were to leave and marry him, I would be leaving my real, one true love. Us. Yes, Spivsik. All of you. My family. I am Romanov first.
Anastasia hugs her.
Thank you for telling me. That makes me ever so happy. I always thought he had an ugly nose anyway.
They laugh.
We three will always be here, beside you. In sickness and in health, in life, in death. No form of darkness will be able to drive out our lights together.
We love you, Olga. We love you more than 1,000 white daisies.
And 100 white roses.
Do you understand that now?
Yes, I understand. I can see now what was once so blind to me. But we are like these flowers, delicate, soft, but anchored deeply in the place in which it grew, able to withstand any storm, surrounded by others of equal beauty to share in its glory. We are four white flowers in our own sense. I shall no longer walk these days alone, sisters. I cannot do that to myself, and I cannot do that to the ones I love. Family is my rock, my reason to live. You all are my reasons to live. Tatiana, Maria, Anastasia. Yes, there is darkness in this world, and it shall try to swallow us up. But the power we hold together will outshine it. We are sisters, born of the same mother and father, but all four so different, bringing different shades of light to snuff out the darkness. Ibo pomnite. Remember, in the end, that it is not evil which conquers evil, but only love. if y'all have a booklet, I know that's not enough for everyone, because if you saw the date on the front, you see that it says March, because we got these originally done back when we were actually doing this in March. So it's a fun little memory when we actually did this. Thank you all so much. I hope you got to see kind of more of the inner workings of their personalities. And have a good night. Thank you.